Hey guys, it's Chris. From literal food fights to taking egg rolls as bribes, here are 13 of the dumbest ways people got arrested. Number 13. Ticket to heaven. One couple managed to convince multiple people that they could literally buy their way into heaven by selling fake golden tickets. Yes, they turned into Willy Wonkas of the Great Beyond, selling their heavenly tickets for $100 a piece. Their names are Tito and Amanda Watts, and you can probably guess just by looking at their mugshots that they definitely weren't qualified to do such a thing and were straight up lying to customers through their teeth. While being arrested, Tito kept swearing the tickets were 100% real, claiming that Jesus gave them to him behind a KFC so he could get money for outer space. Somehow, considering what they were trying to sell, the location and reason for the tickets makes complete sense, right? His wife confirmed that they wanted to go to outer space in order to smoke cocaine. The police confiscated multiple crack pipes, thousands of dollars in cash, as well as, for some reason, a baby alligator. Why did they have that baby alligator? Well, we kinda wanna know just as badly as you do. Truly a charming couple, though. Number 12. Cheating wife. Okay, close your eyes and picture yourself in the following situation. You've been with your wife for years and start to grow suspicious that she's been seeing someone else on the side. To put your mind at ease, you log onto her computer and begin reading through her emails. Is that a jerk move? Yeah, it definitely is, but it doesn't justify an arrest. Unfortunately, Leon Walker was arrested for hacking his wife's email. He's looking at hard time for the offense too, up to 5 years to be exact, for violating a computer misuse law that's supposedly in place for protecting secrets. Leon just wanted to know if his wife was up to no good, but Walker claims his wife had told him the password to the account years before. Whatever the truth is, we don't think a jail sentence is necessary. Marital counseling, on the other hand, probably could do them a lot of good. And just in case you were curious, there was in fact another man in the picture. Number 11. I'm with stupid. You know those t-shirts that couples wear saying things like, "she's mine," or those other ones that say, "I'm with stupid"? Well, one man was arrested for wearing one of these shirts. In Queensland, Australia, the man was wearing the signature "I'm with stupid" shirt while standing next to some people from the Liberal National Party campaign. It just so happens that the man arrested, Ian Fogarty, runs a fairly popular parody Twitter account for the Queensland Premier. The shirt was apparently a public nuisance, which is what Fogarty was charged with. After the arrest pictures circulated on Twitter, the site's users had a blast making light of the ridiculous offense. The cops taking him into custody were extremely careful which side they stood on while taking him to the cop car. But honestly, the arrest itself was kind of stupid. Who knew you could be arrested and charged for wearing a tacky t-shirt? Number 10. Earthquakes. After an earthquake in 2009 left 29 people dead, Italian citizens in the town of L'Aquila wanted answers and someone to blame. 6 geologists in the town were arrested on charges of manslaughter for failing to predict the quake. The geologists had previously told the citizens before the natural disaster took place not to worry. But Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Even the smartest scientist in the field wouldn't have been able to predict this quake, which is what the judge determined too. After 13 long months, the geologists were set free, leaving the courthouse to a crowd of angry citizens outside shouting for shame as they left. What's scary about this case is that scientists may be hesitant to share findings with the public from now on for fear of being wrong or worse, convicted of a crime. Researchers around the world rallied in support of the geologists, even sending letters to the Italian president. The CEO for the American Association for the Advancement of Science said, "There's no accepted scientific method for earthquake prediction," which proves the Italians' innocence. Do you think these scientists deserve to be arrested? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Number 9. Taco Bell fight. Taco Bell is great. You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you choose to, you can even use it as a weapon, although that last one is really not advised. 51-year-old Suzanne Holvert didn't mind, though, as she was arrested for hurling a Taco Bell Burrito Supreme straight into the back of her husband Carl's head. The couple was fighting over Carl's habit of going to the bar every night and drinking to his heart's content. The argument eventually escalated to the point that Carl took the fork from his Taco Bell pizza and he stabbed his wife with it. When police came to arrest Suzanne, they noted how calm she was with a fork covered in pizza remnants sticking out of her hand. The police also felt the need to mention how there was burrito pieces all over the room. In the search for Carl, authorities found him at, well, you guessed it, the bar. He probably didn't even stop to clean the beef out of his hair. He was arrested on the food fight charges just like his wife. A match made in fast food heaven, wouldn't you agree? Number 8. Freddie got fingered. Remember Blockbuster, that rent-a-video store that had a bunch of movies and games to choose from? If you said no, then you and James Myers would get along really well. The Concord man was arrested for not returning a VHS movie from 2002. To give you a bit of perspective, the arrest took place in 2016, 14 years after the original rental. Can you guess what movie it was? The 2001 Tom Green comedy Freddie Got Fingered. I mean, if you're gonna keep a movie, at least pick a better one. While driving his daughter to school one morning, an officer pulled Myers over because one of his back taillights was out. After a good 25 minutes running his license, the cop came back and asked him to step out of the vehicle. It seemed even the police were confused by this situation. Once he was told the reason behind his arrest, Myers thought they were joking. There had been a warrant out for him since 2002 when he failed to return the film. Luckily, officials thought it was just as bogus as Myers did, and his charges were eventually dropped. Number 7. Late fees. This next story is similar to Myers' story, just with a different form of media. Yori Enwick was arrested after not returning a book to his local library for over 3 years. He had checked out a GED study guide and didn't respond to any of the letters or calls from the library saying they wanted it back. Usually, library members are given 90 days to return a book, and Enwick was well past his due date. It's been a city policy for years that if a person refuses to pay their overdue fees and is stopped by the police, then they'll be placed under arrest. The library in Copperas Cove, Texas, where the crime was committed, says they will try to solve the situation in a civil manner without police involvement. But if for some reason Enwick still refuses to comply with library policies, well, then they will have to take legal action. When reporters reached out to question him, Enwick refused to respond. Maybe he was still too busy studying. Number 6. Spaghetti mistakes. SpaghettiOs are a childhood favorite for many Americans. With their delicious tomato sauce and signature circular noodles, it's almost a crime not to like them. But Ashley Gabrielle Huff from Georgia was arrested for liking them a little too much. On July 2nd of 2014, police pulled over the 24-year-old woman for what was supposed to be just a routine traffic stop. But it turned into way more when an officer noticed a spoon with a mysterious material baked on it inside Ashley's vehicle. Upon seeing this mysterious spoon, the cop was convinced it was meth. Despite Ashley's efforts to convince the officer that it was just sauce residue from SpaghettiOs that she liked to regularly eat in her car, well, they weren't really convinced. With 0 previous criminal records, Ashley was placed under arrest for the suspicious spoon. It was sent to a crime lab while she was sent to jail to wait for the results. And just as you would probably suspect, the cop was wrong. The spoon did in fact have SpaghettiO sauce on it. What an impassable mistake. Number 5. Facebook likes. You'd think after committing a crime and not getting caught right away, people would be smart about how they conduct themselves. But no, you can't expect that much even from a criminal after all. Levi Charles Reardon from Great Falls, Montana was involved in a felony forgery case. Somehow, with all 12 of his brain cells, Levi managed to evade capture. Police were dumbfounded on where he could be. The department posted a mugshot of Levi from a previous offense on the Great Falls Cascade County Crime Stoppers Facebook page to enlist the help of locals. But the Einstein that Levi is, well, he decided to like the post, probably thinking he looked nice in the photo. 3 weeks after the initial post, the cops had him in their custody. We wonder if Levi is going to like the way his jail cell looks. Number 4. Bank robbers. After that last story, it's easy to wonder if anyone in the world has common sense anymore, and honestly, probably not. A bank in Fairfield, Connecticut was shocked to receive a call one day from a man named Albert Bailey. Albert described how he and a partner were coming to rob the bank, and that they should be ready for that. If bank employees didn't comply, they would be met with what Albert described as a bloodbath. So let's just stop and think about this one for a second. They called to warn the bank that they were coming. Yeah, stupid doesn't even begin to describe these guys. Bank employees were told to get $100,000 ready before they got there, but instead of that, they just used the time to call the police. When Albert did finally show up, he slipped the bank teller a note telling him to give him the money, and they did. He got $900 out the door when authorities greeted him with handcuffs. They successfully made the list for dumbest ways to get arrested, that's for sure. Number 3. Egg rolls. Becoming a citizen of the U.S. is a lengthy process that can sometimes take years to complete through legit channels. But one immigration officer named Mai Nu Yuen thought she could bypass some steps for people if they met her price. What was that price, you might ask? It could be anything from favors to money, and in this case, it just so happened to be egg rolls. After working for the department for over 8 years, May had taken many different bribes from Vietnamese immigrants working on their citizenships. She had taken thousands of dollars from these people during her career, and the day she was finally arrested for it, she was caught red-handed with 200 egg rolls. The FBI caught her in the act after one of her victims told investigators how May demanded money in order to approve their application status. Feds gave the informant money and wired them up, sending them into the office where she was indicted. We don't think May's going to enjoy many egg rolls from prison. Number 2, spooky ghost. Some people enjoy Halloween a little too much, and Anthony Stollard must not have gotten the memo that the spooky holiday had ended months ago. He and some of his friends had been drinking the night before and had decided to go to the nearby Kingston Cemetery to play some football. That's soccer for those Americans who are watching. Witnesses to this event claimed that Anthony was being overly rowdy while pretending to be a ghost amongst the graves. He reportedly was throwing his arms in the air and saying, "Ooh," as your stereotypical ghost usually does. Well, that's obviously way too out of hand. We're joking, of course, but Anthony was arrested for behavior likely to cause distress. It was probably too much for the real ghost in the cemetery to handle. Though he didn't serve jail time, he was fined a total of £75 in reparation costs. He was just too spooky to handle. I'm sure the money he had to pay really brought down his spirits. Number 1, gators at Wendy's. There's been a lot of people from Florida on this list. Coincidence? We think not. Some workers at a West Palm Beach Wendy's location got much more than they bargained for after clocking in on their shift. A man named Joshua James had driven through the drive-thru and thrown a 3.5-foot alligator through the window. So where do we even begin with this one? Where did he even get the gator, and why did he throw it through a window, and most importantly, why a Wendy's? Joshua's mother, Linda, told news outlets that it was just a stupid prank, one of many her son often pulls. Even if it was just a prank, the law doesn't take these kinds of actions lightly. He was arrested and charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Yes, an alligator falls under this category in case you didn't know, along with assault, and they also got him for illegally possessing an alligator paired with petty theft. Poor alligator and poor Wendy's employees. They really did not deserve to be on the receiving end of this alleged prank. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching this look at the dumbest ways people have been arrested. Which was your favorite? Do you think any of these criminals didn't deserve what they got? Do you have any other stories about dumb people getting caught? We'd love to hear about them. So let us know in the comments section down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more interesting content like this.